We've got some crazy Marvel news today from Andrew Garfield talking about returning as Spider-Man in Avengers Secret Wars, leaked photos from the set of Spider-Man Brand New Day showing Scorpion, a new Daredevil and Spider-Man team-up happening soon, and so much more. Let's get into it. We gotta start with the Andrew Garfield news because I'm getting some real Spider-Man No Way Home vibes from these interviews of him trying to keep this secret contained. He's been doing a lot of new press interviews for his new movie After the Hunt, and it seems like every single person has been asking him about the upcoming Avengers movies. Here's the first clip.
Here's my theory. I'm gonna probably see you in Secret Wars.
Okay.
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 Okay. I'm gonna see you in Secret Wars.
Okay.
And what I'm excited about, the body language experts are going to come out. Andrew, careful.
See, what is this? Is this a tell or what is it? You'll find out. Whatever response I'm having.
5 years we'll know.
Is it exasperation? Is it? I don't know. You'll find out.
I would be excited to see you mix it up with some new, like you and Hugh Jackman would be amazing. You and Wolverine.
Yeah, I love Hugh Jackman. Yeah.
Is there anybody like it? Like we don't know, but like that you would be excited to mix it up with it now that you're in the MCU.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I really love the Spider-Verse movies.
Yeah.
You know, I love Lord and Miller. Just putting that out there. I love Wolverine. I love Hugh. You know, Tom Hardy's obviously a really formidable actor, and what he's done with Venom is super fun. And yeah, I don't know.
You're open to all.
I'm up for a good time.
Now, there's another interview where he gives a very different answer we're going to get to in a second. But first of all, we got to talk about this one. Shout out to Josh Horowitz, though. He's the interviewer. He's so good at getting these actors to kind of talk about Marvel stuff. I kind of love these interviews now because, in my opinion, it kind of seems like he's just given up. He's like, yeah, nobody believed me when I say I wasn't in Spider-Man No Way Home, especially after I was actually in the movie. So now he's just like, you know what? Screw it. You'll find out one way or the other. Well, let's talk about the heroes he talked about that he'd love to team up with. Because honestly, if he is in Avengers Secret Wars, I think 2 of these are very likely, but he mentioned Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, obviously. Then he kind of oddly brought up in that clip you saw Spider-Verse, just unprovoked, but we already know he did cameo in Across the Spider-Verse, and the movies are peak. I think he's just giving them a lot of credit. And then he said it would be very cool to finally meet up with Tom Hardy's Venom, and honestly, I feel like seeing this in Secret Wars would be super cool. Who knows, maybe with all the different characters from different dimensions we're gonna see a bunch of different villains come into this movie too. And getting to finally see a bunch of these like what-if matchups of things like maybe Tom Hardy's Venom fighting against Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland's Spider-Man could be really cool, honestly. Because even though Doctor Doom is like the Marvel villain, he's an absolute S-tier character, I still feel like the biggest problem with the final battle of Avengers Endgame is that you pretty much had all the heroes from the MCU fighting against just Thanos, and now it's going to be even more ridiculous in Avengers Secret Wars with even more characters all just fighting against Doctor Doom. So I honestly do feel like we might see him bring a lot of MCU villains back to life, or possibly these other characters like Venom and maybe even like Kraven the Hunter, God forbid. I don't need to see more of that Sonyverse, but I could honestly see kind of stuff like this happening, so it's not just like all the Avengers in the world from every universe versus Doctor Doom. I feel like he's going to bring in some backup too. And no, I'm not saying that Doctor Doom needs it exactly, but who knows, why waste time? Now, we do have more Andrew Garfield stuff to get to. While we're on this topic, Young Griffith, I think I said his name right, he plays Mr. Fantastic in the original 2005 Fantastic Four movies, and in a new interview with Variety just today, he said that he's open to returning as Mr. Fantastic in Secret Wars. What if we see this dude pulling up as the maker version of Reed Richards? If you don't know, he's like the alternate universe evil version of Reed Richards, and he has a huge part in Secret Wars and a lot of different multiverse stories going on. He's also currently behind the new Ultimate Universe in the comics, which if you don't know, he made an entirely new world but stripped all the heroes of their powers. Like, he stopped the spider from biting Peter Parker. He stopped this universe's version of the Fantastic Four from going up in the spaceship and getting their powers in the cosmic storm. Like, he literally was like, yeah, I'm gonna make a perfect world without any heroes. This dude's an absolute demon. Seeing him in Secret Wars would be insane. Or if not, we better see him in the future of the MCU. At least maybe Pedro Pascal just plays both versions of Reed Richards, the good version and the maker. Like I said, we talked about Andrew Garfield in Secret Wars, but we do have to go back because he gave another new interview today. Again, he's doing a lot of press for this new movie. This time the question was specifically on Doomsday, and he seemed like he was in a very bad mood in this interview. Just watch his answer.
Next, will Tobey and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man be in Avengers Doomsday as well? No. Unequivocally, no. Replied.
Now, obviously, he did say this in kind of a joking tone, but this full interview, he kind of just seems fully out of it. He's probably just very tired of doing constant press, and I couldn't even blame him if this is how he really feels. Like, imagine you played one character 10 years ago. You got 2 movies, they canceled your third, replaced you. You're like, all right, that part of my life is done. Then you finally get your chance to come back as this character, give it a little bit more closure to the fans. 4 years ago, Spider-Man No Way Home came out, and for the last 4 years now, all everybody asks him for any movie he's promoting is like, oh yeah, are you coming back again as Spider-Man? I guess obviously I'm sure he loves the character of Spider-Man and playing him and how much the fans adore him, but I feel like it does probably get very old when you're doing this press for random movies and every single interviewer is asking you like, hey, you in the next Avengers movies, when they know he can't answer. Moving on, we got some new set photos from Spider-Man Brand New Day. It has officially started filming now. Tom Holland is back from his concussion that he suffered. There's some set photos of him on there, nothing like in suit or anything. But more importantly, we finally got our first look at Michael Mando returning as Scorpion in this movie. A reputable leaker Daniel RPK came out and said that yes, Scorpion will actually play a huge role in Spider-Man Brand New Day because we know there's going to be smaller villains like Tombstone and Boomerang that are probably just going to be in like a montage at the beginning or kind of like side villains not really doing too much. But I'm glad it seems like they're actually going to give Scorpion the time to shine because this dude was teased 9 years ago in the post-credit scene for Spider-Man Homecoming, and the fact that it's taking until now, it's going to be full 10 years from when we saw him in the post-credit scene to the release of Spider-Man Brand New Day, and he's finally going to get time to shine. It just feels so right. It's like, yeah, we kind of lost track of things after Spider-Man Homecoming, let this version of Spider-Man get a little too connected to the Avengers, a little too big scale, too fast. Now we're going back to the roots, the villain we teased in the first movie, and we're finally going to get that grounded Spider-Man trilogy. I can't wait to see him in this movie. He's going to be awesome. Speaking of Daniel RPK, he's saying that it does seem like, yes, Spider-Man is likely not going to be in Avengers Doomsday as of now. Obviously, we've had no official announcement about him. Everybody's just kind of been assuming, oh, he'll probably be in there. But it does seem like they're going to be saving him for Avengers Secret Wars, which honestly I'm not mad about. As I mentioned, these movies are going to have an outrageous amount of characters. Nobody's really going to get the time to really shine on their own. So keeping out some of the heavy hitters like a Spider-Man, maybe a Doctor Strange, from Doomsday, kind of letting us focus in on the Fantastic Four, the Thunderbolts, aka the New Avengers, Sam Wilson's team, could really work. And then in Avengers Secret Wars, you kind of shift the focus to your other heavy hitters, like maybe Spider-Man. If he has a symbiote suit, that could be really cool. Obviously, we still don't know how Tony Stark and Doctor Doom are going to be connected, but we have to assume it's some like multiversal version of Tony, or else they wouldn't get the same actor to play him. So obviously, there's going to be a lot of emotional stuff going on between Peter Parker and his old mentor, or at least who he thinks is him. But I really think the true reason they're doing this is because of the contract they have with Sony. Because if you don't know, they can pretty much only use him in a very limited amount of movies. We don't know exactly what that number is, but we know Marvel is planning on giving Tom Holland at least one more Spider-Man trilogy. We're getting Spider-Man 4 obviously next year, and we're probably going to get a Spider-Man 5 and 6. So that's 3 more movies for Tom Holland already. Having him in Secret Wars is 4 movies. Maybe that's all they agreed to with Sony in this latest contract. Like Marvel Zombies itself was going to be a movie, but they literally had to turn it into a 4-part TV show just so they could have Spider-Man in it. I know it doesn't really make sense that they can kind of throw him in whatever TV shows they want. Like they have the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man TV show, and like I said, to put him in Marvel Zombies, they had to make it a show. That's just the deal they had with Sony, and honestly, I think Sony is pretty happy with this. Like, I don't think they really want the rights back. They're probably happy letting Marvel do all the work on these movies and just taking half the profit. Speaking of all the Spider-Man stuff, we also got some new information about Spider-Man and Daredevil Born Again from the head of Marvel TV himself, Brad Winderbaum, where he says there might be a crossover between Daredevil Born Again and Spider-Man Brand New Day, saying we don't want to spoil anything, but it very much exists in the same world and is very important. Now, obviously, at the end of Daredevil Born Again Season 1, Daredevil's like, yeah, I need to assemble a team. People even figured out that part of the Spider-Man theme song was playing in the background. So a lot of people were theorizing, hey, maybe we'll see these two link up together, and we know they're both taking place in New York City. So we don't know exactly how this crossover is going to happen. It might actually just be a straight up team up with Daredevil and Spider-Man meeting each other in one of these two projects. It could have to do with Kingpin, since he's obviously going crazy on New York right now and Spider-Man lives there. He also gave us some more info on Daredevil Born Again Season 2, saying that Foggy Nelson will return in the season, despite the actor Eldon Henson saying that he won't. He just said, yeah, actors kind of don't know what they can and cannot say on Marvel projects. Now, we don't know if this is through flashbacks. Maybe the witness protection theory ends up being true, but it's kind of weird that he's just coming out and saying this straight up, but I'm glad Foggy will be back in the next season. Matthew Lillard, who was confirmed to be joining the cast of Daredevil Born Again, is going to be playing a character named Mr. Charles, who will be an antagonist to Kingpin. Now, we know anybody that stands against Kingpin is not going to end up well, most likely, but hopefully he plays a go-to character in this. I don't know who Mr. Charles is. If he's from the comics, I'm not going to lie. And speaking of all this Marvel TV talk, a new teaser trailer for Wonder Man was just released. I'm not going to show it here, and it's only a minute long, nothing too crazy, but the show has now been delayed a month. It's releasing in January 2026 on Disney+. If you want to hear more crazy Marvel news we got the other day about Spider-Verse and more, click the video above my head right now, and thank you for watching.